Can't believe that we are even considering this for even a second. Our CRA director is not recommending that we approve this. The application was supposed to be submitted 90 days in advance. That has been violated each and every time. What is the excuse this time? Yes, they are paid in full now. Surprise, surprise. We have had to hound them since March 25th to receive our money. As of today, we just received the interest.
It's only a matter of time. Everyone holds their breath when this goes on to make sure that there are no issues. The time has come that we let this one go by. And it's a problem when multiple years in a row, the bill isn't paid on time.
I see on the application that Circus has an X,
It's not all gonna get paid 10 days, 20 days right after the fair is complete.
but we've been continuously asking him. Our policy, again, for the temporary use permit has been violated. It wasn't in within 90 days. So how is this board going to just dismiss our policy like that? Not just once, but every single time.
Nothing was fully paid and you couldn't dare put this forward if you didn't have it all paid up. It's maybe one time we skip doing this because it's not good for the city. I'm going to turn to my colleagues and say, 200,000, get fully paid. At what point does somebody learn? You know the old expression, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not going to fool me 30 times. If everything needed to be paid 90 days ago, then it should have been paid 90 days ago.
It's not often that our executive director makes a recommendation.
Correct.
He usually leaves it up to us, but he did make a recommendation on this.
To deny this.
To deny this, and we do not consider any further TUPs from this applicant.
He doesn't pay his bills on time. He only pays them when he wants to pay them because he wants to have another fair. But you guys continue to let this man break the rules because you're personal friends with him.
The rules have been broken over and over again. The payment has been done only because it is time for the new one, the next one to go on. I think it's time to say, okay, you're done. This is it.
How much rent do they pay to the city, the property? How much?
50,000
Well, they should triple that.
They're just coming up and asking for something, and you guys are breaking the rule. You guys are allowing them to pay later. I can't rent a pavilion in this city without paying for it up front.
This fair is a degrading look for our city. It's horrible.
If this does pass, this goes on the next city commission meeting?
Correct.
Here we're talking about rent, correct? Which is the $50,000 right now. Would we up that to $75,000?
Second,
If you're gonna vote no for it, then I don't see the need to up the rent.
I can count. I mean, I can count the three.
I would prefer, I like how it's being presented.
Fine, I just disagree with you guys. Your two methods of, well, I'm gonna vote no, but let me just hammer him for it.
But he carried his debt for 5 months
He paid interest on it.
today.
Please call the roll on the amendment, and that's raising it from 50 to 75,000.
Why don't you just give it to him for free?
4C.
Item 4C is discussion possible action, approval of a temporary use agreement between the Margate Community Redevelopment Agency and Hildebrand Amusement Rides, Inc. to hold the fair at Margate CRA owned properties.
What's the wish of the commission?
So move.
I'll second it. Okay. I don't see any. Okay, we see I have two lights lit. We have Commissioner Simone,
thank you.
Board Member Simone, sorry.
I can't believe that we are even considering this for even a second. Our CRA director is not recommending that we approve this. The TUP event policy says that the application was supposed to be submitted 90 days in advance. That has been violated each and every time. The last time the applicant came to us, the excuse was that the owner of the fair was working with the circus at the Florida State Fair, and that fair had just concluded, and the owner of the fair had just met with them for a revised site plan.
The alternate site plan that is set before all of you for your approval, the Florida State Fair just concluded. Mr. Bass had an opportunity to engage the circus that's actually at the Florida State Fair right now. And this is candidly why we're a little delayed in the submission with a late change before you on a different site plan.
So what is the excuse this time? It seems like every time they are late on their application, there is an excuse. I listened to the March 5th meeting. We had to, yes, they are paid in full now. Surprise, surprise. I wonder if they were told that unless you're paid in full, that this is not going to pass. We have had to hound them since March 25th to receive our money, which was not paid until August 27th. And now, as of today, we just received the interest on this. If you listen to the March 5th meeting, which I did, the attorney, Mr. Rydell, said yes. And this is at 1:41 of that March 5th meeting. Yes, in the future, we will submit application within the 90 days.
Could we also agree, should there be another one, that since it says 90 days in advance for the temporary use permit, and since the dates are certainly out there from August on, that we never, ever have to call a special meeting to do this and make people think that for some reason we're pushing stuff through?
You'll never have to do that again. As well as the commitment from my client today saying regarding the bill. And again, there's no, Mr. Bass is always paid. And I understand there was some debate in terms of the 25 versus the 50 for some members of the public and regarding that,
That's not what you're asking.
So the answer is, I believe, Mr. Curtis, you can confirm all monies past due have been paid and
That
except
wasn't,
for the.
that wasn't what I
That wasn't what she was
asking,
asking.
Judge.
I think, if I'm correct, Mayor,
Eh.
you were asking that in the future, when you want to do another fair, that you put the paperwork in the 90 days before and not wait till we have to call a special meeting.
Yes,
That's exactly what I was
Yes.
saying.
I was listening.
Thank you.
the answer is yes. I apologize if I digressed with that, but the answer is yes.
Well, what happened to that? What happened to that promise that they were going to submit in the future, the application within 90 days? Also, at that March 5th commission meeting at 2:31 and 42 seconds, we were told that any bill associated with this event, and I'm quoting this, any bill associated with this event, if approved this evening, will be paid within 30 days of receipt by me. I commit that to this commission, and he commits this, and he also said his client, Mr. Bass, commits this to this commission.
Any bill associated with this event, if approved this evening, will be paid within 30 days of receipt by me. I commit that to this commission. He commits that to this commission.
All these promises, all these words, and they're not fulfilled. So I don't even know why we are even considering this. I have no idea what in the world this CRA board is even thinking. I mean, it's just a disgrace that we are not told the truth time after time, and then it gets approved every single time that they come before us. So the TUP alone should receive a no vote because that violates our policy, as it did the last time and probably the time before that, and every time it's come before us. And also that they don't pay their debt to the city in a timely manner. We're just going to throw those things out the window and say, okay, we'll give them another time to make good. No, that boat has sailed, in my opinion.
Ms. Schwartz?
I'm going to go on the record and say first, I happen to think Carlos Bass and his wife are lovely people. Now I'm going to go with my however. At this point, we have two sides of Royal Palm being ripped up. Just trying to get less than a mile takes 20 minutes. As a resident, I look for other ways to avoid that. I don't want to see any more cars making it even more difficult for the rest of us during the time that FDOT is doing what it needs to do. I counted. This was submitted 69 days, not 90. And I'm assuming it's because the money wasn't paid prior to that, because otherwise we couldn't have even moved forward. My third concern is it is not for the city of Margate residents to become a bank, to pay out for other people when they owe money to the people who work for the city of Margate. We are not a lending organization. It's not our purpose. certainly not for 5 months. So at this point, I cannot vote for this. As much as I may like some of the food that's sold there, as much as I thought it was nice that tickets were donated, I think there comes a time, and I will add a third one. It's now a 10-day setup. It was a 3-day by ordinance. We allowed it to be 7. Now it's 10. This entire thing will take somewhere between 34 and 35 days. I think it's wrong now on this piece of property at this time, problems, and quite frankly, it's only a matter of time. Everyone holds their breath when this goes on to make sure that there are no issues within the city of Margate. So I can't vote for this. It says an estimated attendance of 40,000 people. That's cars. And I happen to very much resent the fact that people are charged to park on our property. That bugs the heck out of me completely. So I can't vote for this. And I think the time has come that we let this one go by. There's too much traffic. There's too much disruption over there. There are too many days. And it's a problem when multiple years in a row, the bill isn't paid on time. And I'm not in the business of being a lending association. That's my 2 cents worth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know at the last meeting, I should have suggested I suggested it, but I don't think we ended up doing so, some type of prepayment into an escrow account.
We thought a bond, remember? We thought.
Well, the bond is then you have to go and get it and there's exclusions and it's not always guaranteed. It's nothing like money in escrow. Now, with that being said, Mr. Chair, can I call up the attorney for Mr. Hildebrand? Because I believe in the contract offering that they have before us, there's 100 or 150,000 in prepayments.
Excuse me, I would love to have him come up and answer your questions.
Mr. Idell, if you could divulge on,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's first important to point out, I think everything Commissioner Fussell said.
Mr. Rydell.
Joshua Rydell on behalf of Hildebrand Amusement. It's first important to point out, I'm an attorney. I'm an attorney for clients. I was listening to the meeting coming here, so I think it's important to point out to this room, I'm an attorney representing clients. In whatever capacity that is, whether it's side marks or people want to say things, it's important. I'm not the individual business. Commissioner Simone's completely correct in what she said. These have been late. We were told not to apply until we were paid off. Totally true. Not gonna, your factual statement is true. And if this commission doesn't want the fair this year, vote no. Straight, you are correct. And I'm not going to make excuses when I have a client that says, I will pay within 30. This is totally true. He was in this room as well. If you listen to the meeting, I'll have it paid within 30 days and it wasn't paid within 30 days. That is factually correct on behalf of my client, representing somebody, reiterating to this commission what I'm told. I was crystal clear this year. Unless you're going to prepay a large chunk, I'm looking Commissioner Simone or Schwartz, Commissioner say I don't mean any disrespect to where I'm looking. I said, I'm not even comfortable applying unless there is a large chunk of money that is paid to this commission prior to the start of the fair. So that is why what is in the temporary use agreement is before anyone steps foot on the property, $100,000 will be paid for to the city to prepay police and fire services with pardon me?
It's not enough.
I'm aware of that. And if the will of this commission is a week after the start date, there's another payment option. Those are all amendments that Mr. Bass is acceptable. And if he doesn't pay it, he's not opening. That's why we put the specific terms in the agreement that's before you. So it really truly is your will. If you're residents and you want to have the fair there, then it's a yes vote tonight, understanding that there's deficiencies in the application process. And there's been money owed. We can't dispute any of that to any of you, and I'm not going to sit here and attempt to do that. That's factual. If you want the fair, you have a vehicle to do it. If you don't want the fair, vote no, and I'm trying to make it so this won't happen again. And candidly, as an attorney, a bond is useless. A bond is useless. You want a prepayment of fees. And that's what I have put together, which is different than any other year, candidly. The timeframes are the same, the times are the same, all that is subject to commission approval.
Last time it was 7 days, it wasn't 10 to set up.
Actually, look at the spring fair was 10. I don't want to get into the point because what had happened in terms of the setup, there was a couple days difference on the setup and takedown.
Thing happened in the beginning, that's.
So, and we were advised to ask for the days you want as opposed to trying to stress or put a truck there. So it's that clean, it's that simple. So the answer is I put it's a $50,000 fee to the CRA rental
before you start and in the middle of the fair. It's $100,000 before. If you want another $50,000 in the middle of it, make the motion and do it. And if he's unable to do that, he's shut down. That's simple. I'm here to ask on behalf of him that that's what he's, yeah, I know he attempted to reach all of you this week. I don't know if he connected with all of you. He's embarrassed. That's all I can say. So it's your will. If you want this understanding, there is deficiencies on the time frame. Understanding the money has not been paid immediately. It came in piecemeal. I know you were all updated when the $20,000 came in, and then another 20, and then the 10 and the 100. There has been payments made. It wasn't like it was all paid a week ago. There've been continual payments made, and I'm assuming the chair, or in whatever capacity is not the chair, I'm assuming your city manager or your executive director has advised you when those payments come in. Because I'm assuming some of you have been tracking that. I think, Commissioners, when I look at you, because I'm assuming you've been the most diligent on asking, I don't know. But it's totally up to you.
I see, can I ask you a question? I see on the application that circus has an X next to
Still
it.
animals. Animals. The will of this commission was crystal clear last time. I said no animals. No animals.
And there was a circus there at the last fair. It was great. There were no animals.
Correct.
The children loved it. My daughter loved it. Yeah. And also in fairness, as far as the process, because I've hired PD for personal events as well. You don't get the bill right away. I mean, I had detail officers during my campaign, and I had to chase down for the bill. So imagine a fair, and then there's discrepancies, and sometimes additional bills come in. So it's not all gonna get paid 10 days, 20 days right after the fair is complete.
But we've been continuously asking him. March 25th, he received
So
an invoice.
probably stem this debate
that's-
very easily based on both
That's
of you.
why I'm asking.
Based on both of your comments last time, your city manager was beyond succinct and timely. There have been issues in past years, and maybe it was 30 days, maybe it was 45, maybe we got police, maybe we got fire, maybe we got EMS. Those were staggered. This, listen, I'll take it on the chin when I need to take it on the chin. Those bills, Mr. Curtis got those bills to me beyond time.
Within 30
So
days.
I'm not gonna make that up. He did his job. He told him to do his job, and he did his job very well.
I spoke to you the other day, and my first comment was, he better be prepaying or I can't support it. Correct?
Correct. So the
So
rough amounts.
the points are valid. I'm not saying you're not valid.
The reason I put $100,000 in there, and to be clear, and I had cleared this up because I had been speaking to Mr. Curtis throughout the week about the interest, about the lump sum bill, about all of it. And I had stated that to him because it may have been handwritten and a little vague, but I think it's crystal clear that $100,000, aside from the rental payments, gates don't open unless. So if Mr. Bass comes and sets up and doesn't make that payment, there's no fair loss too.
Good evening, Joe Galaska, Chief of Police. I think it's also prudent for us to possibly do a bond that's paid before the event by the vendor, because every time we're chasing after Mr. Bass to pay his bill, it's been 2 months. Last time it was 4 or 5 months, and we had to go talk to him several times. This should be something we have a projected amount, how much it's going to cost. You pay us the bond up front. If it's under, you return the money that's under. But then we're not going after trying to collection, because I shouldn't have a baseball bat saying, "Come pay me." It should be paid after he's already been paid for the event. We should be paid as a city immediately afterwards.
You done,
Control of the commission.
you done, Antonio?
Yes.
All right, put it in number Simone.
Well, the other thing is, and that's all fine and dandy, the other thing is, our policy, again, for the temporary use permit has been violated. It wasn't in within 90 days. So aside from all the money and everything, time and time again, that hasn't been done, and there's been excuse after excuse after excuse for that. So how is this board going to just dismiss our policy like that? Not just once, but every single time. How can we do that? I don't understand.
Member Schwartz.
Mr. Rydell, regardless of everything, have you seen what it looks like on 441 in Royal Palm Boulevard just to get from Winfield to Royal Palm? It is a disaster because after the OT has broken up both sides, and it will be broken up like that for a very long time. I can't subject my city to 30,000 more people showing up. And I can't imagine. I know what it's like normally when all 3 lanes are opened and you sit there for 20, 25 minutes. It's everything, Josh. It's the 69 days because I know it had to be because nothing was fully paid and you couldn't dare put this forward if you didn't have it all paid up. It's the fact that the city carries weight all the time. It's the traffic. It's all the extra parking. It's maybe one time we skip doing this because it's not good for the city. And quite frankly, I will tell you, regardless if it goes through or not, I'm going to turn to my colleagues and say, 200,000, get fully paid, because how much did it cost us, Cale, to pay everybody out of our pockets?
The spring break fair was around 127,000. I looked at the winter fair from 2024. It was a little over 160,000.
So why should we hold anything? I won't vote for it because I'm not a hypocrite. I've told you why I won't. But if they're gonna, then they need to up the ante. Simple as that.
I do want to thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that greatly. And I appreciate that you came up here and you are leaving it up to this board and you're not pressuring us. Because I know, Commissioner Schwartz is trying to, talk you into not doing it, but you clearly came up and said, if this board doesn't want to do the fair, then this board will just vote no. And I appreciate you saying that.
I tried to correct this to the best way, succinctly fiscally, which is the only way I'm making this application, which is what Mr. Bass was able to agree to. If this board, it's simple. If you want to provide it to your residents, you can do it. If you don't, you have the reason not to. So it's really that simple. And for all the deficiencies on that, there's no excuses today.
As far as the timeline for the TPU, the plan is pretty consistent with previous setups. So I understand staff needs to review, but it's not like it's a new layout and all these new things that they have to start from scratch and review.
On a review level, I don't want to speak to your staff. We've submitted almost the exact same site plan every time. The only modification from the spring fair to the previous fairs was the aspect of the circus, which required a different tent permit that it's essentially the same, just relocated to a different area. So correct. It's the same. And I don't know his title now. Officer Stransky, I don't know.
Major.
I apologize to him. He has the staffing, and candidly, from your past 3 chiefs, they've authorized him to go through this hypercritically, and candidly, it's overstaffed. I'm not here asking for you to overstaff because I don't think anything else is acceptable. It's overstaffed, very much so. That safety is not I believe that you have, aside from the private security, there's a lot of officers there, and your officers, I hear you saying that you don't want to carry that. A lot of these officers get probably a year's worth of overtime in the 3 weeks that it's open.
That could well be, but look at who's paying it.
Well,
No.
Mr. Bass is honest.
But since
I understand completely.
it's just, since I have my number up, I'm going to repeat something that all of you tell me I say all the time. Don't pass a rule you don't intend to enforce. You've got a 90-day rule. The last time we did it in less than 2 weeks and had a special meeting. At what point does somebody learn? You know the old expression, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. How about when you fool me 30 times or 20 times or 10? At what point, if you've got 90 days, do you intend to let everybody violate it who asks? Because you know what? Legitimately, the next person who asks for something not in your timeline should not be held accountable. At some point, you got to say, this was what the rule was. Regardless of whether you've got the same plan for the last 20 years, you've got a 90-day submission for a purpose. And it's not like this just came up. So in all due respect, if everything needed to be paid 90 days ago, then it should have been paid 90 days ago. Or why have that rule? And again, I have nothing against the gentleman. I have nothing against Mr. Rydell, who I think was probably owed money and not paid on time either. Just throwing it out there. But I guarantee you the people who worked for Mr. Bass were paid on time, or they wouldn't have moved on to the next carnival. So when you make decisions like that, it's not fair to us. It's not fair with the traffic. It's not fair with the parking. It's not fair with the timeline. It's not fair with the 3-day maximum that we have there that we violate each time. Why bother having a rule if you never intend to enforce it?
And on top of that, it's not often that our executive director makes a recommendation.
Correct.
He usually leaves it up to us, but he did make a recommendation on this.
To deny this.
To deny this. We do not consider any further TUPs from this applicant.
And the truth is, I'm not sure right now that this hasn't come and gone as far as the joy that it gives everybody else out there. I think we're past that point. I think now all the people see is the pain that it is to get past the driveway, to get past the roadway, and all the other stuff. And quite frankly, I didn't track what he owed me or not. Residents got up each time and said, have you been paid? because I didn't realize we hadn't for such a long. And I don't expect, no, I know you're not here to justify anything.
Not justify anything, but I think it's a fair thing to say on behalf of Mr. Bass, because you're the residents and clearly aren't fans of me anymore. Hey, I've listened to the meeting since I got in the car, but the reality is this, Mr. Bass has given every single one of your student athletes, every single one of your honor students tickets to everything. Mr. Bass has brought homeless children and given them lunch and people that are distant. He's going to continue to do that regardless of your feelings of me. There's a benefit to your city. You may not see it and you may say it outweighs it, and he broke the rules. Totally agree. But if you believe that there's a benefit to youth in the city, there's something you can hang your hat on if you're looking for.
But you want to know what the benefit is? Putting the application in on time, paying your bills on time. And then I get the benefit. But you're asking me to weigh us paying the bills on time to tickets being given to kids. And again, the fact that it's going to tie up this intersection horribly, which we have nothing to do with. Anyway, that's it.
Public.
Totally agree. Number one, the traffic. Number two, he doesn't pay his bills on time. He only pays them when he wants to pay them because he wants to have another fare. It's absolutely ridiculous that you guys continue to let this man break the rules because you're personal friends with him. Go with your director. He said he didn't even want it on the agenda. Follow what he says this time. He's giving you good advice. Take it. Do not allow the fare.
Thank you, move. Also call for a vote.
Margate resident. With all of the rules being broken aside, you're all up here to look out for residents. And some of you, maybe it doesn't mean anything about paying bills on time. And it's not right to the residents. You don't pay your water on time. You don't pay your rental on time. People who don't have money that are living paycheck to paycheck, and yet they have to pay their stuff on time. Well, the traffic is horrendous on 441 as it is. Rules not being followed, I guess that's okay for, so if something goes on the agenda, it's the chair that puts it on, right? Yeah, okay, so rules, I guess, don't mean stuff to everybody, even though you're representing a whole city. And you should be looking out for what is in the best interest of the residents, the safety of our residents. I can't even say anything else. Excuse me, Margate president. I cannot agree more with what Commissioner Simona, Board Member Simona, and Board Member Short have said. The rules have been broken over and over again. The payment has been done only because it is time for the new one, the next one to go on. And okay, so I'm going to pay the bill. When somebody disrespects you that much, when somebody disrespects and is so inconsiderate to the city as this has been for years, I think it's time to say, okay, you're done. This is it. Stop. I know that he has given tickets to children. I know that he has done charitable things for them. I understand all that, but the disrespect to the city and to the residents in here also outweighs that. And I think that maybe it's time for this fair to go to Coconut Creek, to go to somewhere else, and then they can get the tickets there, and those children can have the same opportunity that these kids have had. I definitely don't like what is the disrespect. I definitely don't like the disregard to the rules and the things that have been broken year after year. And I think this should be it. Thank you.
What do they pay for rent? For who? How much rent do they pay to the city, the property? How much?
50,000.
Well, they should triple that. The amount of money that they take in on the parking alone They pay for the rent in one night, just in parking. It's time you raise the rent. You should charge them triple.
Last time it was 25,000, and it was not approved by the board. We tried to raise it to 50 and it was not approved.
No, it is 50 now.
It is 50 now, but last time
Yes.
you tried to raise it to
Yes, I did.
50 and it got voted down.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, please, call the roll on the amendment.
And that's just simply on the difference in.
Between changing it from the 25 to the 50.
Like,
That's fine. Correct. Is that okay? Okay, I'm sure I did it right.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Board Member Serio,
No.
Board Member Simone,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rosano.
No.
Chair Casciano.
No.
Margate resident. So I do agree with you. You're not commissioner here, board member Schwartz and board member Simone. But I don't actually blame Mr. Harlan and I don't blame Josh Rydell simply because they're just coming up and asking for something and you guys are breaking the rule. You guys are allowing them to pay later. I can't rent a pavilion in this city without paying for it up front. So this is not on Harlan, it's not on Josh. And I'm not defending anything that's going on, but if people are going to complain about rules being broken, I love you all, but it's you all that are breaking the rules.
That's why you hear me say, don't pass something you never intend to enforce.
I've never spoken publicly for or against this fair, although personally I can't stand it. If the CRA is there to improve the look of the city, this is not how to do it. This fair is a degrading look for our city. It's horrible. And I've kept quiet about it. And yes, I understand the issues of the rules. And certainly, if you're going to approve it, you're going to get as much advance payment as possible. And certainly, if you're going to do that, you're going to demand free tickets for homeless and for Heroes Hub and for Legacy Closet. However, this time those tickets should be distributed directly to the 501c3. And I would also want a public record of commissioners receiving free tickets to the extent of how many they have received. But all in all, I think what you have to consider this time around, which is very different, is the traffic pattern on 441 South in the evening is already horrendous. From Atlantic Boulevard all the way up to Copens. It's bumper to bumper with the construction.
That's north.
I'm sorry?
That's north.
I know, but come on the southbound lane is where the traffic backs up. And we already have that now just in a normal situation. Imagine what it's going to be like with this event being held in evening, getting darker, creating a more dangerous situation. And I think this is a different set of circumstances than we have had before. So I would appeal to the three commissioners that are inclined to improve it, to seriously give it considerable thought. I don't know this time around with the traffic backup, Commissioner Rosano, Board Member Rosano, whether or not you would want to refer to it as Tommy's Fair, because the backup in traffic is going to be horrendous. And so the three of you give this long thought, because to me, that is the most significant factor and the best reason to now say no. Thank you.
Please call the roll.
No, you got numbers.
Oh, I didn't see the lights. Tom,
I just pressed it.
oh, that's why I didn't see it.
Just a question. If this does pass, this goes on the next city commission meeting?
Correct. So if this passes, we'll advance the application to DRC team to review, provide their comments. It is very similar to previous, so that should not be, it should be the same comments. And then it would come back before the commission. Tonight, what the CRA is doing is approving the use of the property, the amount of the rent, any prepayments for police and fire or any other staffing details would be a condition set by the city commission at next meeting.
So it goes on the meeting regardless?
It has to go before the city commission as well.
He's saying regardless. He's asking you if it goes on regardless.
If it doesn't pass here,
Then there's no reason.
it would not go before the city commission.
Okay.
And can you clarify, I know you mentioned it, but I was trying to process it. What is the city side deciding on?
The city side decides on the essentially what you're interested in is the prepayment amount, any amount prepaid for fire and police detail, because that's provided by the city, not the CRA.
Okay.
And if I might, I'm gonna have to add a couple provisions to this agreement if you approve it tonight. One with respect to the rent. Want to make sure it's clear how much is being paid and when. And then I need to add a default provision in the event that something isn't paid or something isn't done. So if this is approved, I'd like to have the opportunity to add those provisions to the agreement.
All right, so then my question is, here we're talking about rent, correct? Which is the $50,000 right now. Are we also talking about upping the ante to prepayment to 200,000, or is that a city?
Essentially, it's a city thing. I don't think it hurts to express that here as the applicant's or, attorney is here and can convey that back. Let him know that at the next meeting, it may be asked to increase that amount of the deposit.
So if I wanted to make a suggestion, regardless of the fact that I won't vote for it, but if I wanted to make a suggestion that we up the rent because times have changed. I now hear how much more it costs to mow grass and to fill in potholes and to put landscaping. And if we upped that to $75,000, that we could do this now?
You mean 170?
I mean, 100. Well, no, that was going to be my next thing. I'm talking about the rest.
To 50.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
70.
Because I was told I can't do the other part until next meeting.
The rent amount is part of this
Correct.
consideration.
That's what I understood. So we wanted to up that amount to start with because of all the other stuff. This would be the time to do that. Then the 175 or whatever would be at the next city meeting. I got that.
Yes.
So I would make that suggestion.
Motion.
I would make a motion to amend whatever this is for that to happen. Yes.
To make the rent for the use of the premises for this event to the CRA be 75,000.
Correct.
Payable in 2 installments as indicated on this agreement.
Prior to it ever opening.
Okay.
Second.
We have a second?
You just got.
I'm sorry.
She's Commissioner, Board Member Simone.
You second.
Okay. I didn't hear.
No, I guess if you want to discuss that, this would be fine.
Well, you started, okay. Board Member Arcerio.
I commend you for trying to work that in, but if you're gonna vote no for it, then I don't see the need to up the rent.
It shouldn't matter that I have issues with I can count. It doesn't matter that I have issues with traffic and everything else.
I'm not
But
saying
at
that,
least what I'm saying is that if you're going to do it, get some more money for it for the grief it causes you. And because everything else, as we've heard, has gone up. So I think it would be appropriate. I mean, I can count to 3. So if you're gonna do it, then do that as well. There's no downside in it because it costs you more no matter what.
I would prefer, I like how it's being presented. We should have done this last fair. My own gut, I should have gone with that, but they have it in there as prepayments.
But it was the same way the last time, 25 each time. That hasn't changed.
No, but they're also putting in money for the police and fire detail.
That's not enough. No, we're not voting on that. That's gonna
I
be a city.
understand that, but that's also in the grand scheme of things in the contract. So they will be putting a large sum of money, rent and escrow for police and fire.
But at the end of the day, the police and fire earn this. This is what the CRA would earn. If that's comes in, it goes out. This is a good use of.
I get it, but
Okay.
this in theory should eliminate the issues of chasing after our funds.
And I
And
should go 5'10", but that's not good. But
that's just, we have a difference of opinions. I see a pretty good benefit for the community. There's a lot of kids there. I know my daughter loves going to the fair. She asks me all the time when the fair is coming back. And yes, not everyone at the fair is a Margate resident, but a good number of them are. And look, if this doesn't work out this time, I mean, I don't know how many fairs. I don't know how many fairs are humanly possible after this. I mean, hopefully everything goes, excuse me, but when you talk from there, I can't hear. And I'm gonna ask you to please refrain from that. It's disruptive to a public meeting. Thank you very much. And you're here all the time and you know. So I see the benefit. There realistically, with the developer, with Brookfield, probably have a developer agreement soon. And I'm sure there'll be language in there that these type of events won't be allowed, just like the last one did. So I have no problem with the fair going on this time. And, you know, I'll vote no on the amendment, but we'll see how it goes. And again, we just have a difference of opinions, but
Well,
your points are valid.
But the whole point of the amendment is that the CRA should get some benefit out of everything else because all the other money.
We're getting 50,000.
Yeah, well, take a good look at the land that you're using. You're not going to have more parking in more places that weren't used the last time because at the time there were construction things on there. You know, you're going to have more garbage flowing down certain streets, more noise. You know, again, if you think it's a benefit that your child and other children can go there, then there needs to be a benefit to the CRA because that ship for $50,000 has sailed. You know, as simple as that. But again, we'll see what people vote. It's simply my amendment.
Vice Chair, do you still want to?
Yeah, I do. You know, I don't know if I applaud what you're doing or I'm disgraced of what you're doing. You're basically saying I'm going to vote no, but let me just hammer them from another $25,000. But what you said was to back it up. You said we can use that money to fix the property, fix the holes, fix the landscaping. When Mr. Bass goes out there prior to, and when they see that there are holes, they level them so there's no liabilities for the people walking. And then after about a month and a half, that grass is greener than anything because the rain comes in. And it looks great. It looks like nothing even happened there. You talk about the traffic. How about the project that's going to be starting on, what's it, Lions Road in Atlantic, I think next month for a year? You know, do we have to look at every project coming into Margate, basically basing what projects we're going to do because of traffic?
It's not our project, though. We can't do anything about
So-
it. It's done, what they're going to do, but you don't make it even worse by putting another 30,000 or 40,000 people in cost.
Fine. I just disagree with you guys. Your two methods of, well, I'm going to vote no, but let me just hammer them for it.
I'm not hammering him. You carried his debt for 5 months
He paid interest on it.
today.
He paid the interest. So what we did is we got money back and the interest. And we got the interest. Yes, it does. It means everything. It means that we didn't lose a penny.
You certainly.
No, we didn't, because we got the interest. It was paid for. Interest covered it. That's what interest is for.
That's it. You tried that. You tried not paying a bill and then say, well, I'll pay interest for 5 months and see how that works. You had to pay your police and fire when they earned it. You didn't turn to them and say, wait till we get an interest payment 5 months from now. You floated that balloon for people. Not necessarily. You floated that balloon for people. That part is wrong.
Okay.
It's basically all I have to say, you know.
I think it's time. If everything else went up.
The justification was irrelevant. It was basically level out the land and fix the landscaping.
My justification is we just are entitled to it.
You can say that next time.
Who's going to call? Who are they going to call when they can't get from Winfield Boulevard to Atlantic Boulevard in less than an hour? Who are they going to call? They're not calling Harlan Bass. They're not calling Josh Rydell. They're going to call the city and tell us what a horrible job we've done. I've already had to respond to someone who thinks we're doing the thing on FDOT's thing and explain to him that's not us and there's nothing I can do about it. Because people assume it's us.
Of course, but you said you got one call. What about the hundreds of thousands of people that are really happy going to a corner?
If it's only 40,000, it's still.
The floor is open on the weekends and that need. It's not very.
Vote however you want. I was honest enough to tell you how I feel about it. You vote the way you vote.
There's a motion to amend. Let's take a vote on that one. Please call the roll on the amendment. And that's raising it from 50 to 75,000.
I'll vote yes on that. Because it's my amendment.
Board Member Schwartz.
Yes.
Board Member Serio.
No.
Board Member Simone.
Yes.
Vice Chair Pizzano.
No.
Chair Caggiano.
No.
Why don't you just give it to him for free?
Yeah, the original motion was to approve as presented, subject to the revisions by the CRA attorney.
Please call the roll on that one.
Board Member Schwartz.
No.
Board Member Serio.
Just to be clear, this is on the original. Yes.
Board Member Simone,
No,
Vice Chair Rosano,
Yes.
Chair Caggiano.
Yes.
Motion
It's a shame that your executive director asked you to turn it down and you didn't.